The cabin crouched at the edge of the woods, a hunched silhouette against the brooding sky. Decades of neglect had stained its wooden bones, each loose shingle a testament to forgotten storms. Locals spoke of the lake house in hushed tones, their words laced with fear and warning. They told of laughter, swallowed by the heavy silence, of figures glimpsed through swirling mist. No one dared venture near after dark. The lake, a black mirror reflecting the forest's edge, held its own secrets. Its depths were said to be bottomless, a watery abyss swallowing all light and sound. Fishermen told tales of strange currents, of being pulled by unseen forces. The lake, they whispered, had a hunger that never slept. Three friends, Mark, Sarah and Chris, arrived at the cabin, their laughter echoing in the stillness. Seeking respite from the city's clamour, they had dismissed the local tales as mere superstition. The cabin, though dilapidated, promised seclusion, a chance to reconnect with nature.
Mark, ever the pragmatist, saw only a weekend retreat. Sarah, an artist, was captivated by the melancholic beauty of the decaying structure. Chris, the jokester, pretended to be fearless, masking a growing unease.
The sun dipped below the tree line, casting long shadows that danced and writhed like phantoms. A shiver ran down Sarah's spine. The air had grown cold, heavy with unspoken threat. The first day passed without incident. The friends hiked, their laughter echoing through the trees. They fished, their lines trailing in the deceptively placid water. As dusk descended, casting an orange glow across the lake, Chris suggested a swim.
The water was shockingly cold, stealing their breath. They splashed playfully, but the laughter died quickly. A strange unease settled over them.
Sarah felt a presence beneath the surface, watching them with unseen eyes. Mark noticed a sudden chill, the air thick with an unnatural dampness. Chris, his bravado gone, felt a prickle of fear on the back of his neck.
They retreated to the shore, shivering, their earlier carefree mood shattered. That night, sleep refused to come. The air was thick with an unsettling stillness, making every creak and rustle seem amplified. The silence of the woods was broken by strange sounds, branches snapping, whispers on the wind. It was as if the forest itself was alive, murmuring secrets to those who dared to listen. Mark dismissed them as nocturnal animals, but Sarah couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Her eyes darted around, searching for the source of her unease.
Chris lay awake, listening to the creaking of the old house, his heart pounding in his chest. Then he heard it. A sound that didn't belong, a low, menacing growl.
A low, guttural growl emanating from the lake. It was unlike anything he had ever heard before, a sound that seemed to come from the depths of the earth. It rose and fell with the wind, a mournful primal sound that sent chills down his spine. The wind seemed to carry the growl, making it echo through the trees. He crept closer to the window, his breath fogging the glass. His hands trembled as he wiped it clean, trying to get a better view. Something moved in the darkness, a fleeting glimpse of movement beneath the surface of the lake. It was quick, almost too quick to be real. It was gone as quickly as it appeared, leaving Chris staring into the impenetrable blackness. His mind raced with possibilities, each more terrifying than the last.
The next morning, I decided to explore the attic. The house had always seemed mysterious, and the attic was the one place I had never dared to venture before.
Dust motes danced in the pale light, filtering through a grimy window. Cobwebs clung to every surface, and the air was heavy with the scent of decay. The atmosphere was thick with the weight of forgotten memories and untold stories.
I stumbled upon a dusty trunk tucked beneath a tattered tapestry. Curiosity overcoming my unease, I knelt and lifted the lid. The creak of the hinges echoed in the silent attic, sending a shiver down my spine.
Inside, nestled among yellowed linens and moth-eaten clothes, lay a leather-bound journal. The pages were brittle with age, the ink faded but legible. It seemed to hold secrets long forgotten, waiting to be uncovered.
It was the diary of the cabin's previous owner, a man named Elijah, who had lived here a century earlier. His handwriting was elegant, yet there was a sense of urgency in his words.
As Sarah read, her blood ran cold. Elijah wrote of the lake, of its strange pull, of the voices that whispered from its depths. He wrote of his growing fear, of the feeling that something was watching him, something malevolent. The more she read, the more she felt a connection to Elijah's fear, as if the same malevolent presence was now watching her.
Sarah showed the journal to Mark and Chris.
Mark, ever the skeptic, dismissed it as the ramblings of a madman.
But Chris, his face pale, recognized the fear that bled from the pages, a fear he himself now felt. He remembered the growl in the night, the fleeting movement in the darkness.
They decided to leave, to pack their bags and put as much distance between themselves and the cursed lake as possible. But as they rushed to gather their belongings, a thick fog rolled in, blanketing the cabin and the surrounding woods in an impenetrable white shroud. The air grew heavy, oppressive, making it difficult to breathe. Panic began to rise in their chests. They were trapped. With growing desperation, they piled into their car, the engine sputtering in the damp air. Headlights cut through the swirling fog, illuminating only a few feet ahead. They crept along the narrow, winding road, the forest pressing close on either side like a living thing.
Then, the car lurched to a halt, the engine dying with a final cough.
Terror lent them strength. They scrambled out of the car and ran, their breath coming in ragged gasps. The fog seemed to cling to them, slowing their progress. They could hear the lake behind them, the water lapping against the shore, each ripple a hungry whisper. Something was behind them, moving swiftly through the fog, its presence marked by the growing cold. They burst out of the woods onto the main road, collapsing onto the asphalt, their lungs burning from the exertion. Each breath felt like fire, their bodies trembling from the adrenaline and fear that had driven them to this point. The first rays of dawn were breaking through the dissipating fog, casting a pale light on the road ahead. The morning light seemed almost surreal, a stark contrast to the darkness they had just escaped. They didn't look back, didn't speak of the horrors they had witnessed. The silence between them was heavy, each step forward a struggle to leave the past behind. They simply climbed into the first car that stopped and rode away, leaving the lake and its secrets behind. The strangers who helped them didn't ask questions, sensing the gravity of their silence.
The friends returned to their lives, but they were changed. The bond they shared was now laced with an unspoken understanding, a shared trauma that words could never fully capture. The lake had left its mark, an indelible stain on their souls. Its dark waters held memories that would haunt them, rippling through their thoughts like the surface of the lake itself. They carried the scars of their experience, the unspoken terror that lingered in their eyes. Each glance in the mirror was a reminder of the fear that had gripped them.
They never spoke of that weekend, the memory too horrifying to confront. The forest, with its shadows and whispers, became a forbidden topic, a chapter of their lives sealed away. They knew, with a certainty that chilled them to the bone, that some places are best left undisturbed, some secrets better left buried beneath the whispering waters. The lake, with its eerie calm, would forever be a place of nightmares, a silent witness to their ordeal. The cabin still stands at the edge of the woods, a testament to the darkness that resides there. The lake remains, its surface seemingly calm, reflecting the sky like a shattered mirror. But beneath the surface, in the murky depths where light struggles to penetrate, something stirs. The lake remembers. It waits patiently, its hunger unsated, for the next unsuspecting souls to stumble upon its shores. The cycle continues. The whispers on the wind a constant reminder of the horrors that lie hidden beneath the placid facade.
The lake house stands silent, a sentinel guarding its terrible secret, a haunting tale of whispering waters and the darkness that dwells within.